Now, the festive season isn't far away, and with any luck this year, more people will be able to share time with family and loved ones. It's talked about £85 billion worth of expenditure over the festive season between us all. And a lot of that will be in terms of hospitality and, well, a certain conviviality. At the same time, though, lots of local charities are bracing themselves for an increase in demand for their services. And for one Northamptonshire woman, it's a time that will bring temptation.
BBC Radio Northampton.
Make a difference. Vicky has quite a story of redemption which centres around the demon of drink. It's been Alcohol Awareness Week this week, and as part of it, I've been talking to Vicky. We have a two-part story from her this morning. Yesterday, she told me her own personal story.
I lost my job in June 2015 through doing something so out of character for myself, committed a crime. And then after that, it's okay to go to the pub. I've got nothing, I've lost everything basically. So I used to go to the pub as soon as it opened, and then my partner used to come home from work and I used to go home with him, buy cans on the way home. So it was drinking from the time I woke up really to the time I went to bed. So that functioning alcoholic went from an alcoholic drinking daily, getting the dependency, thinking it was my best friend, but really it was my worst enemy.
I guess a lot of people think that alcoholics drink and get drunk. Was that the case with you? Because if you were just constantly drinking, if it was through the day, I guess your body would have some sense of processing the alcohol. So were you falling down drunk as an alcoholic in those days?
No, because your tolerance gets higher. I did have blackouts, so I used to be walking home from the pub and I'd black out and my partner used to have to pick me up and then obviously carry me home. And that was sort of like at my worst point when I was given 6 months to live by the hospital. They said, if you carry on going the way you are, you will be dead in 6 months.
How did you get the referral to hospital in the first place?
I went to my GP because I lost a lot of weight. I had all the symptoms that you get through drinking, being sick every morning. And so I went to the GP. The GP sent me straight to the hospital. They done tests. My daughter came with me and they told me I had 6 months to live. The first thing I did was have a drink. I didn't care that my daughter was sitting beside me crying. That didn't bother me. It was the fact that my first thought was, oh, well, I can have another drink. I think at the time I wasn't scared to die.
So even with a warning that if you don't knock this on the head, if you don't change your ways, you will be dead and you will leave a daughter without a mother, that made no impression on you?
No impression at all. And I would have been leaving two daughters. So I've got two daughters, but my youngest daughter came with me. And I didn't care. The thought of losing the partner that had stuck by me, the daughters that I love dearly, that I've always been there for, I didn't care. I just wanted another drink.
So if you were so wedded to the booze, if you were so intent on carrying on drinking, how is it that your daughter managed to get you to change her ways? Because she did.
It was both my daughters and my partner. They obviously had the conversation, and then my daughter brought me down to S2S, where I signed up to get the support and the help that I thoroughly needed. As soon as you walk in the door, they make you feel comfortable. The support they give you is just amazing. They saved my life. S2S saved my life.
Vicky, when you first got to S2S, you were in a bad way. How was that organisation, how were those people able to turn you around to the point where, and I can see you right now because we're recording this through WhatsApp, there you are, you got a lanyard on, you're in the office, you've got everything together now, you've actually gone poacher turned gamekeeper because you're now a recovery worker yourself. But how did they get you to that stage?
I think they were non-judgmental. The support offered, they supported me with absolutely everything, from probation to getting me into Mind, to getting me into other services in the area. My recovery worker is a legend. I can't call him anything else. He said it as it was, which I needed, and he just gave me that little push, and he could see something in me that I couldn't see myself, that he see that person that I'd lost many years previously. He got me involved in stuff that I never ever thought that I would do, like groups. Everybody has got this thing about groups. Oh, I can't do a group. You can. Yes, it's scary when you first walk into it, but it's got to be one of the best things I did, because you're with people in the same situation that you are. And at the time, you think you're on your own. you think you're the only one going through this, but you're not. There's a lot of people out there.
Alcohol Awareness Week continues until the close of tomorrow. That's the first part of a conversation with Vicky Martin about the S2S organisation, but very much focused on her own personal journey, her own personal story, which brought her to the attention of S2S, and for whom she now works. So what about the organisation itself? How does it do what it does? And what is it anticipating in the run-up to and beyond the current festive season, when a lot of people will be wanting to get together in a way that perhaps they couldn't 12 months ago, and in a way that may well involve quite a lot of seasonal cheer in the form of what comes out of a bottle? We'll find out a little bit more about S2S, Substance to Solution, through the story of Vicky Martin, after the 8 o'clock news this morning, here on BBC Radio Northampton.